I'm feeling sexy already. You never know, my next career choice might be a burlesque performer.
I think it's going to be.
I would love that. Cover me in sequins.
Yes.
I got the shoulder going.
Shake me. I just feel extremely comfortable on burlesque stages, which is interesting because people would sometimes consider it quite vulnerable to be taking off your clothes in front of people.
I can remember looking at him and I just got this flood of, oh, I want a piece of that.
She got more than a piece ultimately, didn't she?
I'm Madeleine Stewart, and I'm spilling the tea on love, lust, and everything in between, gaining intimate access into everyday disabled people's love lives to ask the question, what's the big deal with disabled sex?
Being paralysed and kind of stuck flat and having to tell people what to do was kind of being dominant. But in the act of sex, I felt very submissive and everyone did things to me, which sounds great, you know, sometimes, but sex to me is more about versatility.
From mainstream perspectives, disability is either infantilized or fetishized. We are not allowed to be sexy, or we are only sexy because it is a specialized fetish.
You want to be seen sexily and attractively. There's no reason why you can't be.
Oh, and by the way, if you thought this didn't apply to you, statistically speaking, you're just a stumble down the stairs away from being one of us. Welcome.
It is incredibly freeing to perform burlesque because it feels like you're breaking the rules.
Jacqueline Tedmanson, also known as Diana Divine, is a 29-year-old award-winning burlesque performer based in Adelaide.
Getting naked on a stage is not something I would ever have been, allowed to do.
As a person with disability, I know exactly what it's like to be looked at every single day. But when you perform, you get to control the way that people view you. You're in charge of the way that people perceive you. And that's what Jacqueline, or should I say Diana Divine, does so well.
It's, empowering, I would say, to take your clothes off and have people cheer, especially being not a particularly thin body type, being visibly disabled.
Jackie is neurodivergent and also has a physical disability. Sometimes she uses a walking stick and sometimes a wheelchair, proving once and for all that mobility aids can be really hot.
Having genuine support when you're showing off your body in all its glory, it's not something that a lot of people would imagine would happen. The most common nightmare is you're naked when you shouldn't be, and this is what I'm choosing to do on my weekends. The sexual expression was also something that I was really drawn to, having that ability to do whatever I want on stage and kind of command the audience.
Diana Divine is the boss. So sexy, so in control. You have to surrender to Diana Divine.
I do encourage everyone who's won these titles to just obnoxiously sash wear.
Yeah, wear the sash.
Yeah.
Don't pack it away.
My disability is kind of dynamic and multifaceted, but primarily I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a connective tissue disorder. It's genetic and degenerative. It basically means any of the soft tissue in my body, so that includes muscles, that includes my skin. It's all particularly stretchy and can break and tear easily, but most commonly that translates into easily dislocating my joints.
What's been your journey around disability and discovering your disability? Because with a lot of chronic illnesses, it can take a little while to figure out what's going on.
As a child, I did have a lot of injuries. Often I had my friends comment on the fact that I always had something wrapped up or strapped up. We didn't really link any of this together. When I was about 19 years old, I had quite a significant back injury while performing. Because I had spent my whole life ignoring that pain, I'd built up a really strong pain tolerance and had stopped kind of acknowledging how bad the pain was. After that, we kind of started monitoring my injuries a lot closer.
5.5 million Australians live with disability. That's over 20% of us, quite a chunk. Lots of people with disability embrace their differences, finding pride, power, and sensuality in their uniqueness.
Ooh, one of these. Yes.
I wanted to ask, does your disability sometimes shape your sexuality?
Definitely chronic pain plays a huge part in libido and how often I actually want to, and then there's the wanting versus the physically able. Navigating my fairly fragile body, which can dislocate quite easily, it's tricky. You know, sometimes I've had injuries from sex. And so a lot of the time it feels like it's when the stars align. Other times it feels like a spontaneous why not, and you're kind of risking it a little bit, which can also add to the fun of it at the end of the day.
Trucking.
Before you?
Welcome to my boudoir.
Ooh, it's not every day getting to a shed with a young man. All right, let's have a look.
Ooh,
Hey,
reveal.
who's this hunk?
So that is an old Snapchat photo I found of myself.
Wow, Kyle.
So.
Whoa. Whoa.
Well, yeah. I mean, I used to make a joke that I would have abs for my life, and then I broke my neck. So.
Well, you kind of do have abs all your life. It's captured in paint.
True. Yeah.
It's forever.
True. Yeah.
My good friend Kyle Montgomery is from Wollongong, south of Sydney. At 38, he's a disability activist and a visual artist. And you paint a lot of the female form.
Who cannot like women, the form of women? I mean, just bodies in general. I started out doing landscapes, but when I used to draw, I loved drawing portraits and I loved drawing just the human form.
Before his injury, Kyle was a super fit and active guy. He ran a mixed martial arts gym teaching adults and children. In 2019, he was training with a friend when a wrestling manoeuvre went terribly wrong.
I tried to go for a takedown, I couldn't get him, so I switched up for what was called a shoulder throw. Problem was, I didn't turn my neck correctly to roll. I actually landed in a position that actually forced my neck to go under my body, which caused a hyperextension injury. And it sounded like a large branch snapping. That's what it sounded like. I could see my legs and I could see my body, but I couldn't feel any of it. And then over time, I started to feel my breathing get worse and worse. And I was like, I think my system was shutting down. And that's when I started to panic because I was like, I think I'm like dying.
Kyle spent almost a year in hospital. Slowly, he got some arm and bicep function back, and his injury was classified as a C5 level quadriplegia. Kyle was in the process of splitting up with his partner when the accident happened.
I literally had this life-changing injury, lost a partner of 10 years, and I've been living in hospital. Yeah, I think the grieving was probably the biggest thing. Getting used to the idea that I'm a wheelchair user, hoping that I would be one of the miracle people that get up and walk again. And all these things I'm struggling with now will be a distant memory until it wasn't.
Kyle was working hard in rehab and still figuring out what his body could do.
Erections started happening and I was like, oh, it still works, cool. So I started having these thoughts around sex now because, you know, typical man, you know, hard sex. I wasn't even thinking sex in like a more holistic sense. It was just like, I just need someone to sit on top of that right now. All I knew at the time was I wanted some fun and sex. So yeah, I wrote this haiku. Cool guy in a chair looking for a fun, cute girl to sit on his face. That was it, yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
I'd swipe right on a haiku.
Well, I discovered that was the case, yeah. I think part of me was like, do I put myself in the wheelchair in my dating profile? So my main profile picture was the blue hospital curtains and me in a wheelchair, I don't know, doing these ones, or I don't know what I was doing.
Well, look, the haiku did the heavy lifting, my friend.
Yeah, I don't think it's very desirable to see someone in a hospital in any dating profile.
Yeah.
But I think it was more like, this is my reality. I may as well show it because, like,
Yeah.
we're not going to be going on any, like, you know, fancy dates by the beach.
Just before COVID hit, Kyle moved into a serviced apartment with 24-hour care and support. Unable to make sourdough like everyone else during lockdown, Kyle hit the dating apps for a few hookups.
We'd have our little chat, build a little bit of a connection. We're going to do this, cool. I would have my support workers nearby. Can you put me into bed? You can go away for now and come back in like, I don't know, an hour or two, or I'll call out to you. And then, you know, the person will come in and we do the deed, yeah.
Wow, because I wondered what that would be like as someone, you know, chatting on Tinder, come on over, and then there's like a room full of people, and you're like, oh, don't worry about them.
Yeah, I very much told people what the go was. This person's going to come in, put me to bed, and they're going to leave. Cool, and that was kind of the deal.
We're all human beings, and part of being human is experiencing disability. It's a natural part of it. And when disability inevitably comes into your life, it's a great opportunity for self-acceptance and self-exploration as well.
Hey, have a look at the ducks.
Oh, goodness me.
Dr Debra Keenahan lives on the central coast of New South Wales. She's an artist, a playwright and an academic with 2 PhDs to her name.
Attraction is a strange and inexplicable thing.
Yes, physically, it hits me.
She met her husband Robert, a photographer, on a shoot in 2014.
We were taking these photographs and Robert had his camera. It was one smooth movement of twisting his cap around and bending down so that he was crouching to take. And I can remember looking at him and I just got this flood of, oh, I want a piece of that.
She got more than a piece ultimately, didn't she?
Even now, if he does that, I still get that, whoa.
Vital question, how do you navigate the height difference?
I embrace it. Yeah.
And you're always the same height lying down.
We are. That's right. So lying down, yes, it makes no difference, does it?
Debra and Robert married in 2017, with Debra's daughter Sarah the bridesmaid.
Robert, is there anything that Debra does that makes you go, ooh?
Yes. Sometimes she gets this childish grin on her face. I'm always telling you, geez, you're cute. Never tire of seeing it. Look like that. There we go. That's, that's the one. Shall we take the plunge?
Yes.
Debra, how does Robert make you feel?
Oh, accepted, loved. I'm the only one with dwarfism in my family. That's typical for people with achondroplasia. 80% of us are born to average height parents. I think their approach was that I was treated just like everybody else. I can remember my dad saying to me, Debra, it would be really good if society came to you. And maybe it should, but it probably won't. You're going to have to go to society.
And go to society she has. Debra is a tireless and vocal advocate with her work depicting the experience of disability. Her latest script, Who's Going to Love You, is in development for the stage.
What about your body? How do you like to be touched? What gives you pleasure?
Gentle, caring head rubs. I can close my eyes and drift away.
Like so.
Oh, yes. Please. take the weight of my head in your hands.
So, Debra, tell me a bit more about this work. What things pulled you to this work?
It's about the search, the recognition of sexuality, the search for love and a relationship, intimacy and acceptance. And I think everybody can relate to that.
Yeah.
Meeting Debra and Robert have really shown me that there is a difference between sexual expression and intimacy and sex. They all fill different cups that we have and are all vital parts of our healthy sexual expression.
Let's do a bit of that.
All right.
Jackie and her husband Jackson met as teenagers in high school.
It was casual day and he noticed me, so...
That is honestly, for any girl who has the mufti day, you dress to impress.
Exactly.
And well done.
Yes, I did
Tick,
it.
You did it. You're
Yes.
living the dream.
Thank you, yes.
Sparks flew. A teenage romance blossomed into a lasting relationship. They've been together for 15 years and married for 5 of them.
It must be such a lovely bond that you have, very intimate.
Yeah, absolutely. He has seen me at my worst and at my best, and I would think the same for me seeing him. And I think we've both had the opportunity to kind of grow into ourselves, and luckily we have grown together in that time.
That's cute. I
Yeah.
like that.
I think these are our friends that are poly but are not our partners.
Disability doesn't discriminate. It's intersectional and diverse, with people expressing their sexuality in many ways. Around 1/3 of the queer community also identify as having disability.
So Jackson isn't actually your only partner. Could you please talk to me a little bit about polyamory?
Yeah, so Jackson and I have been polyamorous the whole time we've been together. It kind of was born of myself realising I was bisexual. His logic was, well, if we're together forever, I don't want to lock you into never being able to explore this side of yourself. Yeah, it began as it often does of you're allowed to kiss other girls just to play around, and then I realised that I wouldn't be that jealous if he were to kiss other girls as well. And then we both kind of realised we wouldn't be jealous if we were to date other people as well, and it just kind of snowballed into like, as long as we're communicating, we were kind of happy for everyone to do what made them happy. So currently I'm not actively seeing anyone else. Jackson does have another person. She's just absolutely lovely, and as far as I'm concerned, it's another person in our little community.
I hate the math part.
Well, that's poly for you.
Maths
We all hate the math.
and calendars.
Yeah.
The two worst bits.
What impact does your disability have when it comes to dating, when you do date?
So I have had really good and really bad experiences dating as a disabled person.
Haven't we all?
I mean, yeah, it's part and parcel. I have received some pretty badly worded pickup lines usually. Some, really rough things like, oh, good to know you can't run away, and things like that.
That they think is funny, but we find terrifying.
Yes, it's kind of a threat.
It's threatening, isn't it? You can't run away from me.
Yeah.
Touch is a large part of life. But for many people with disability, it's medical touch through doctors and support workers.
So what role does touch have in your life?
Yeah, that is definitely a weird area when it comes to support workers, because like you're very close and intimate with people. Because I am naked all the time in the mornings, obviously. So like things like massage and stretching, I'm nude. Someone's doing that, facilitating it for me. You know, they're helping me go to the toilet. You know, showering me, washing my body, things like that. There is a lot of intimate touch. So there's this weird crossover of like platonic intimacy into like, I don't know, in a way of desire, I guess. I don't think it's very uncommon for people that have support workers and maybe not dating and they are alone to feel an attraction to the support worker. And this is like, I guess, feeding into the sex stuff and just dating in general, if you're deprived of that, you go into this strange zone of like mistaking certain touch for like not just kindness, but I guess stepping in this weird grey area where that touch could be misconstrued as like a form of like desire or like affection. So that is a bit of a danger there.
Oh, there we go.
Like many men his age, Kyle still had a strong interest in sex.
Did you get any help with sex when you were in hospital? Were there OTs or specialists that talked you through your options, or...?
It was very much like a sex ed class in school where we'd all rock up in our wheelchairs, and one of them was around sex, mainly fertility. It was mostly medical. No one specifically looking at sex holistically.
How did you learn how to have sex again? Because it would be quite different now.
My plan for that was to try sex work because I knew sex workers would have experience with people with disability. That was the thought that I had. I don't know how to have sex. I don't know if I'm going to like it. And I feel a lot of discomfort and insecurity around it. So I thought with the sex work experience, maybe I can learn something to get that confidence back or just feel safe about it.
Did it help you? Did you learn some things?
I think what I really learned was that I needed to stop looking at sex so one-dimensionally. But because I couldn't physically achieve it like I used to, all those other things that I would normally do in sex were kind of out of the picture for me because like they were all part of the main goal, you know what I mean? To get them off and then get me off. Whereas for me, I didn't know what getting me off looked like because I didn't know if I could. Very much learned that I couldn't achieve an orgasm even though things still worked. And that was frustrating. But what I discovered was just the closeness, cuddling, kissing was fun altogether. And I really just liked the closeness and the intimacy at the end of the day.
Oh, hey.
Hey!
So, here are my sex aids that I use for my fun times.
For your fun times.
For my fun
And they're
times.
accessible?
Yes, they're all disability-specific stuff.
Oh, I'm very excited then.
I discovered that I am able to do doggy style using the hoist and sling.
A hoist and a sling with the dog style. Oh, so is this part of it?
So this is part of it. So basically, I'm able to put myself in this kind of a standing position. So I'm basically vertical. And, you know, if I do it above the bed, the person can go on all fours. And, but the problem with that is we discovered that they had to kind of hold on and pull me to them. It was a bit awkward.
Yeah.
And I can't really grab them.
Yeah.
So,
but this works.
So I can put that through. So imagine, this is underneath the person's waist.
Imagine.
Because usually, like, because of my situation, the person having sex with me, I'm not really doing the sex.
Yeah.
Whereas these kind of aids allow me to have the control.
Yeah. And
So I feel like I'm doing something.
Yeah, that must
basically.
feel so nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Oh, the next mystery box.
Vibe erect.
Ooh. I've not seen a sex toy like this. How does this, what goes, I'm confused. This looks like a hair straightener.
Yeah.
This does look like something
It does look like a hair
used in the
straightener.
2000s that would whip my hair out and be like, ooh.
Well, I think it's for fertility mainly. So people that have like neurological injuries that aren't able to ejaculate if they want to have children, it helps facilitate, well, I guess in a sense an orgasm, but the purpose is for ejaculation to get sperm and have children.
But none of this is covered by the NDIS. In 2020, the federal court ruled that people with disability can use their NDIS funds to access sex work services along with sex aids. Though reportedly few people were using it, in 2024, the government changed the rules, banning it.
When we consider that the federal government subsidises Viagra, which is totally reasonable and necessary, it just doesn't seem fair. With so many people with disability living at or below the poverty level, affording sexual support without the NDIS isn't a possibility for many. Access to sex workers have been removed from the NDIS. What are your thoughts on this?
Absolutely bullshit. The Royal Commission into, violence, neglect, abuse and exploitation of disabled people show the facts that disabled people are extremely vulnerable to sexual assault, domestic violence, all kinds of violence. And sex work is a safe avenue to help disabled people experience and access sex. You take that away, you are putting vulnerable people into these vulnerable scenarios. The NDIS is about choice and control. Taking away sex work is taking away both of those things.
I get it.
Yeah.
I like that one too.
For Debra, these changes are negating human rights.
Sexuality is an inherent part of being human. To be denied an avenue to express what is an essential part of being human is to deny a person's humanity.
That's
Give it a
nice.
go. Yeah.
Do you want to give it a go?
Yeah, I'll give it a go. I reckon I need to do it.
Jackie and Jackson are expecting a baby. They're taking their new pram for a test drive.
Can actually lean on it like a walker now.
Nice.
I'm really excited to be a parent and to kind of help navigate the world with a little person. I do think, especially being queer and disabled, I have a lot of understanding of how tough the world can be, but also how nice it can be with community and with people who really love and support you. So we don't really care if it's a boy or a girl, and honestly, we don't really mind if it's healthy because it will probably be chronically ill. But as long as it's funny, we're happy.
We are all human beings, and part of that is forming intimate connections with others, just like you. There needs to be a shift in the way that people and governments view disability and sex. I, for one, think that people with disability have the most innovative and exciting sex lives. We're very sexy people. But we're not objects to fetishize, and we're not burdens on the taxpayer. We're not here to be your inspiration, nor do we want your pity. We are lovers and partners and mothers and fathers and friends. We are valuable parts of society. And like all people, we deserve to feel sexy and safe.
I got something to say, gotta work to get paid. You're too little, too late. Let this be your motivation. You heard me right, ain't gonna lie. Guess I'm calling you a gold digger, 'cause you ain't messing with no broke bitches.